Okay, let's talk about energy drinks. Are they dangerous? Or are they really just a way to pick up that energy? If they're dangerous, how dangerous are they? If they're not, then how harmless are they? First of all, to start, we have an article here from February 28th of this year that says it's not pop. Energy drinks are more dangerous than you may think. Practically every working age adult has had one of those days where they just can't seem to muster up the energy to get through a packed schedule. At some point in our lives, most of us start looking for ways to perk up to get through, but there are dangers if we aren't mindful of our health. Some energy drinks truly do boast less caffeine than the average cup of coffee, but most of them make up for the lack of caffeine by adding other stimulating vitamins and chemicals that can wreak havoc on your body. And in many cases, what you read on the package may not be what you're actually getting. In a study by Consumer Report back in 2012, dozens of energy drinks either had more caffeine or less caffeine than were listed on the label. Sometimes the discrepancy falsely advertised the amount of caffeine by more than half, leaving consumers downing cocktails of caffeine and vitamins in potentially dangerously high doses. According to a study reported in Men's Journal in 2014, a number of pre-workout formulas contain stimulant-like substances known to increase the risk of heart attacks and cause brain bleeds. The substance found in these pre-workout mixes, known as DMBA, similar to a substance banned by the FDA in 2013 called DMAA. Now, the biggest concern is that not every pre-workout mix is approved by the FDA before it hits the shelf, so there's no way of knowing what you're taking. In the case of the DMBA discovery, the synthetic stimulant being used had never been tested on humans before. And since the product wasn't an FDA-approved substance, the companies selling it weren't legally required to tell you what was in them. There's no way of knowing what you're taking, and that can lead to serious risks to your heart and overall health. When Cassandra Reynolds lost her husband after he went into cardiac arrest following the consumption of an energy drink, doctors told the grieving widow that no heart is healthy enough to avoid being affected by energy drinks. Just 1 or 2 drinks a day can disrupt anyone's heart. Studies back up this particular example. Doctors who have observed the health patterns of regular energy drink consumers have reported that the caffeine-laden beverages can cause irregular heartbeats, rapid heart rate increases, dizziness, and even cardiac arrest. It doesn't take an overdose on the drinks either. Just 1 a day is enough to cause the risks the doctors are warning about. The amount of caffeine and other stimulants in an energy drink are supposed to kickstart even the most exhausted consumer. But for most people, that kind of a jolt is incredibly unhealthy. The amount of sugar it takes to give these drinks the flavor people want is downright scary. A regular Red Bull has 37 grams of sugar in a 12-ounce can, which is more than the standard size bag of M&Ms. A Mega Monster drink has 81 grams of sugar in a 24-ounce can, and a Rockstar drink has 60 grams of sugar in a 16-ounce can. Considering that the American Heart Association only recommends that the average adult consume 25 to 35 grams of added sugar per day, that can put some energy drink consumers at nearly 3 times the recommended daily limit for sugar intake. Not only can that much sugar seriously balloon your weight, but it can also cause lasting health implications that are hard to overcome. Given how little nutrients you actually obtain by drinking these energy drinks, your body is getting twice as much sugar while being robbed of essential vitamins and nutrients. Now let's talk about how some of these energy drinks affect people. So this was written on August 22nd of 2019 on how an energy drink paralyzed a schoolgirl and almost killed her. For Caitlin Fraser, a fit and active Scottish teenager who was also a competition dancer, the symptoms were not just worrying, they were life-threatening. So a few years ago, when she was 13, she began leaving her school at lunchtime to visit a nearby ice cream van to buy emerged, which is a popular energy drink that includes lots of sugar, taurine, which is the main ingredient in Red Bull, and caffeine. It began when Fraser was at school. The right side of her face dropped. Then 2 minutes later, her full right side dropped, and she had no sensation. Completely terrified at the sudden paralysis, she got the attention of qualified first responders at school and was sent to the university hospital. From there, Fraser was given a full battery of tests, including an EKG. The diagnosis was shocking. She was told by the doctors that she was suffering from a rare condition called hemiplegic migraine, in which one side of the body sporadically becomes numb and eventually temporarily paralyzed. This can be a frightening experience for the individual, as these symptoms are similar to those of a stroke. While the cause couldn't be determined for certain, she said, on my results, it came back that it could have been too much caffeine. The doctors and consultants said if I drink this again, I could end up having a cardiac arrest. She and her mom have since been trying to get other kids and parents' attention about the dangers these seemingly harmless drinks pose. Her mother believes that the government and schools need to do a lot more to protect kids from these addictive beverages. Her idea? Put an age limit on the drinks, just the way the other dangerous substances like tobacco and alcohol already have, in order to keep kids safe. Now let's talk about another example. This one is from August 7th of 2019. The mother of a Perth, Australia man had warned her 35-year-old son Michael against drinking too many energy drinks. She noticed him carrying an armful of cans out of his truck one day and told him that too many of the drinks could be harmful to his health. What she didn't realize, though, was that he had been consuming as many as 4 cans of Mother each day. Mother is a popular energy drink in Australia and New Zealand and contains 160 milligrams of caffeine per can. That's almost 2/3 more caffeine than 1 cup of coffee. One day, he guzzled 4 cans of Mother along with what coroners believed was another 4 or 5 cups of coffee and went into cardiac arrest while driving. Energy drinks themselves very rarely cause outright fatal caffeine poisoning, but Clark fell victim to the effects of the massive levels of caffeine in the beverage nonetheless. As doctors caution can happen, his heart was put under massive strain from extreme levels of caffeine that he consumed. Instead of letting his death overwhelm her, though, she went on to form a Facebook page to educate others on the serious effects of drinking too many caffeinated beverages. And 5 years later, she's still running it. In the aftermath, Australia reminded citizens to limit their caffeine intake in a single day to no more than 500 milligrams. And finally, let's look at the woman who drank 6 energy drinks a day and had a pacemaker fitted at the age of 32. One woman has a warning for others: never become addicted to energy drinks. It may cost you your health. She learned this from experience after her health scare. Samantha Sharp, 33, from the United Kingdom, is a working mom of 3 children, and to keep herself going, she began drinking energy drinks. A lot of them, even up to 6 a day. All that sugar and caffeine from the energy drinks soon started to take a toll on her health. Although the concoction would keep her going, a blood sugar crash would occur. Her heart would begin racing, and then she would feel tired, which had her reaching for another energy fix. The drinks made my heart beat faster, which would cause palpitations. Then after, I would crash when I needed another one, causing my heart rate to drop to 20 beats per minute. It would give me headaches, I'd be grumpy, and I'd need another one to keep me going, she further added. In 2014, Sharp was working as a cleaner and trying to care for her family, which made it really tough. She was experiencing some warning signs, but at first she chose to ignore them, not knowing the damage that was happening to her body. In 2014, Sharp was drinking up to 5 or 6 cans of energy drinks. She continued on the energy drink spree for another 4 years. However, when she began suffering from blackouts, she knew it was time to visit the doctor. Despite being warned by her family on not drinking these energy drinks, Sharp continued and didn't listen to them. When she visited the doctor in 2018, she became aware that she had a first-degree heart blockage, which then extended to the second degree. After having a pacemaker fitted into her heart at the Glenfield Hospital in February of 2018, she realized how close she had come to losing her life. She wasn't just suffering from heart problems, she also suffered from kidney stones and was on the brink of type 2 diabetes due to the high intake of sugar she was consuming from energy drinks. Even though doctors weren't able to detect the exact cause, they mentioned that drinking energy drinks has not helped it. Thank you for listening. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and share.